All right. So this is how to get paid inside of Command using commissions. So we aren't using the green sheet anymore. We are now using this, which is Command. So first of all, make sure you're logged in. Go to agent.kw.com. Make sure you're logged in and log in there. I'm going to go ahead and I'm inside of opportunities. So from the home page, you're going to see this when you first log in. You can click on the big red KW to see what all these are called. We're going to be mainly operating inside of opportunities. You do also need to have your contacts, your clients, inside of contacts there. So I'm going to go ahead and go into opportunities, and you can go ahead and create an opportunity, and it's very straightforward. You just choose listing, buyer, landlord, or tenant, depending on what kind of transaction it is. You select your client. This will just search your database. So for example, I can search by name, and all those names that have those characters are going to show up. I can go ahead and use this person. The opportunity name, if it's a listing, then you can go ahead and put the address for that listing. For example, 12345 Main Street is the example I love giving. If it's a listing, but if it's a buyer, then you can go ahead and put their name, because usually it's easier to track those than the several properties you guys take them to. So anyways, that's only the client name, the opportunity name, and the commission rate are the required sections you have to put in. Now, I do recommend putting this in a specific place inside of Command. It depends on what stage of the process you're in. If you're scheduling an appointment with them, you can go to the section that says appointment here. In the first section is cultivate appointment and active. And on the right side, you can say whether you're scheduling the appointment with them, if you've already scheduled the appointment, or whether you've had the appointment with them and you just need to get them things to sign, for example, from DocuSign. I'll show you where DocuSign is in there, but I'm not going to be going over DocuSign and how to connect it in this class today. I am going to be going over mainly the payment process, about how to actually get paid through the Market Center. So keep that in mind. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and choose appointment, and I'm going to say scheduled. So I already scheduled an appointment with them. I'm going to put them in. You can put them in as early as when you're cultivating them, and they're 120 days out from buying. Even further than that, to be honest. But I'm going to go ahead and do appointment. Say we've just scheduled an appointment, and I'm going to go ahead and create it. You can also add tags. There's a lot more you can do with this functionality, but I'm only going to be going over the main tenets about how to get paid. So you've created the opportunity now. As soon as you get a property under contract, I do recommend going over here to the property section and adding it. So you can go ahead and search here. And if you search for an address, it'll actually start pulling it up. And you can quickly add an address, and it populates everything for you. And you hit save. I'm going to go ahead and do that for now and hit save there. This kind of saves you some time later on. Now, if you have any questions about your DA and what the status is and where it is in the approval process, you can go ahead and email accounting@kwaustinNW.com. That's accounting@kwaustinNW.com. And you can grab this opportunity ID right here from the top left corner of the details section, and you can go ahead and put that into the body section of an email to them, and they'll be able to help you out and tell you what the status is, if you need to change anything, that kind of stuff. So documents right here. This is the main section you're going to be operating in before you get to the commission section. This is the new thing that's changed. Everything before is still the same. So you're going to want to start with the checklist type as it is mentioning in here. I'm going to go ahead and choose the checklist type on the left side here and choose residential. Now for buyers opportunities, you're going to have a blank folder when you first get in here. This blank folder, you don't have to submit anything at all in. So the listing opportunities, you will have a folder which is called listed, and you'll have to fill out 2 different folders and submit 2. But for the buyer opportunities, you only have to submit 1, and that's under contract. You notice that the majority of the documents, and in fact all the documents you need to submit, are inside of there. Now the last folder, the closed folder, is where you will find the disbursement agreement right there. And accounting, you can see it's already labeled with accounting because accounting is actually going to put that in there for you guys. So, and if you want to, you can put the one from the title if it's available in here later on. but you don't have to. The main thing is that this whole folder is for accounting to actually put the DA inside of here, so you can then retrieve it and download it. But everything else is done inside of under contract for the buyer's opportunity. So it's very simple. You can click on start transaction and choose DocuSign or dotloop if you have dotloop connected. If you want to go over any of those, come to my other classes. I have an open Friday session every Friday at 12 p.m. So you can feel free to go to those and ask any kind of, it's an open session. You can ask questions about anything I've gone over today. There's also, anyways, inside of here to add files, if you have files on your computer, say for example, you scanned in the IABS in person with them and had them sign it in person, you can go ahead and add a file and you can drag and browse your files from your computer, find the IABS that's filled in, open it, and then assign it there really easily. It'll show up right there. So that's fairly simple to do, and you do that for all of the documents that are required, and then of course you submit to the Market Center. It's fairly straightforward to do that. You can also start a transaction here to open up DocuSign and start working there. Once it loads, it'll take you into DocuSign, and then after signing in, you'll be able to pull documents and forms from there and get them signed electronically. So you can go over here and add forms to go to DocuSign forms. Again, I'm not going to be going over DocuSign today, but if you wanted to add forms, this is how you would do it. If you notice on the right side, if I go down here, all my agents information got pulled in from the details section. But yeah, now if I go back to adding a file here, say I want to add the contract, DocuSign now shows up as an option. So if you add any forms into that DocuSign room, it'll show up right here. Now you have to make sure that everything is attached that is required. So make sure that everything that is required is attached. And I would even check out some of the conditionally required ones to make sure that anything that you've already gone through with your clients and everything that you have that might be conditionally required. In that case, you just include it inside of here. So once you've done that, you go ahead and submit to the Market Center, and you'll get a status other than open. For that, right now, my status is open. Eventually, you'll get a status that's either returned, which means that it's gonna be red and it's gonna have a red X, which means that you might have missed something in one of your documents, and it'll give you a little comment next to that document where you need to edit something or add something, for example. It'll say whether something's missing or something is incorrect. Now, if you get a green one that says approved, then that means that that folder has been approved, and the only remaining step to do before you get your DA is submit an offer and a commissions request. So to actually access commissions, what you'll notice is that if I hover over the information icon here, it says you'll be able to view your commission when you have an accepted offer. You're like, oh, I actually have an accepted offer. I put it into command already, but you put it into documents. So you do actually have to put it into offers here. So I'm going to go into there, and this is the new thing. This is the only thing that's changed as of today, September 29th. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and add a new offer right here. And if you're doing this along the process when you actually are submitting offers, then it's saving you a step technically, because then all you have to do is go to commissions and submit your commissions request. Otherwise, if you're doing this just to get paid, you can go ahead and say final offer, create a new offer, put the offer date, I'm just going to go ahead and say today, and the closing date, I'm going to put maybe 22, just like 20 or so days, out from today. It's probably going to be closer to 30, so let's do 30. Go ahead and select from the KWLS. Now, when you select from the KWLS here, it's looking for active listings on the MLS. So it's also going to search like originally, like from as soon as you open that, it's going to search only your listings. So I do recommend switching to all listings, because that'll show, and most likely the buyer listing that you're looking for, if you're working with buyers, is not going to be your own listing. So yeah, I'm not sure why it defaults to that. It's easier to use the other search anyways, but you can search by MLS number in this field. So if you need to search by MLS number, this is the way to do it. You can just type in the number and search, and it'll find it for you. If you want to search by MLS, go to the KWLS section here. Now, if you want to just search by location, you can go ahead and start typing addresses, and it will start putting addresses there for you, and then you can go ahead and fill that in. It'll populate everything for you, and you go ahead and go to parties. The only difference between the KWLS and just searching like that is that it won't provide any of the information here from the MLS, because it's just basically searching the address via Google. So for example, if you're done with the KWLS, it would actually found the representation, so basically the agent that's associated with that listing from KWLS, and it would have put it in there. So if I go over here and I go to all listings, I can grab one from, let's say, Austin. So that's Austin, Colorado, looking for Austin, Texas. I wonder if I can, yeah, here's Austin, Texas. This one will work. And you notice that it says Canady Realty or Canady Realty. I go ahead and select this one. And when I go to parties here, it actually gives the agent information all here. So it saves you like one step, to be honest. But again, you can put like anything here. It doesn't really matter. I'm just gonna put Bob, and that works. You do have to have, you know, the required fields, all the ones that have asterisks. So if you just go ahead and fill those out, and go ahead and remove that person's contact info. Cash here. So the only thing you need on this page is the sales price, and you need it to be accurate here. You don't need to be accurate on the left side. So you can say that it's all cash for the total sale amount. Or you can split it up to where you actually know the cash amount and the finance amount, all that stuff. So you can be accurate here if you want to, and even, you know, fill out the percentage, earnest amount, all that stuff. The only thing that's going to matter when it comes to actually submitting your commissions request, though, is the sales price right here. So now I'm going to go ahead and hit agent analysis. I can skip this entire page because it's not relevant for getting paid. So now that I've entered in that opportunity, that offer, what I can do is I can go over and accept this offer. So I'm going to go ahead and click on accept here. And you'll notice that commissions is no longer grayed out, and I can now click on it. So I'm going to go ahead and click on it, and now you can see that this is kind of the replacement for the green sheet now. So you'll be able to see, and we're working on this with accounting right now to have an updated version of all these stats here, mainly, you know, the royalty, the split, and the cap and everything. So far it is pretty accurate when it comes to this, and this is great. What's great about this is that the green sheet doesn't give you this actual metric and the ability to be able to see how close you are actually to your cap, which is pretty cool. So you'll actually be able to edit some of this information as well. So for example, we're missing the contract date, so I can go ahead and click on edit general information, add that contract date in. So say, for example, let's say that's today. I save changes. And now this is ready to submit for commissions request. So that's that. Now, if I go to edit agent payment, if you are in productivity coaching, then the way to add the productivity coaching fee is to go down to the bottom, go to extra payment options, and you can add I believe it's an inside referral, and you put the amount there. Now, the amount's in dollars here, so you might have to actually calculate what that would be in terms of the percentage. What I would do is talk to your productivity coach, and they'll be able to help you out with inserting the right amount here for them. And you can just go ahead and search, and you can find the productivity coach very easily, just like that. I believe it is the proper way is to do it via the inside referral. But I would refer to accounting and your productivity coach. They do know best when it comes to adding the stuff inside of here. That's the quickest way that I know of how to add people to your deductions for payments here, and it's fairly straightforward. Everything else inside of here is super easy. Like you saw right here, for example, I can add a deduction for KW Cares. I can add one for KW Kids Can, Bold Scholarship, all of that stuff, and I'll be able to see the new net for the agent. For example, if I wanted to add maybe 200 to a Bold Scholarship, that net to agent changes. If I wanted to add 500 to KW Kids Can, and when I believe it's actually not changing that net to agent. It's adding the digital deductions. I'm gonna go ahead and save and then see if it changes. Yeah, now it changes. So after you save changes, it will, update the net to agent. So yeah, you can see in real time your net and everything inside of here, and you'll be able to update that and see how your net changes based on your deductions. So you can see how much your productivity coaching fee does and everything, all that kind of stuff. And once you're done with all that, you can go ahead and hit submit, and that will give the basically accounting the request to put the DA in. So as soon as you do that, the clock's ticking for them to put the DA in. And if you don't get in, a few days, I recommend doing this whole process, this whole commissions process at least, especially the compliance process, especially the compliance process. Doing all of this at least 1 week from closing. I would want to be even finished with this a week from closing, because you want to give yourself the most amount of time, the best possible chance for everything to go through smoothly when it comes to all this stuff. Because every once in a while there are hiccups. Things kind of, you might have like missed one single thing inside of here, inside of your compliance part. You might have.
Can I ask you a question before you go further?
Yeah, let me go ahead and stop recording, because that is the end of that